Assalamualaikum and greetings everyone and welcome to my presentation. First of all, I would like to thank Global Academic Excellence for organizing the 8th International Conference on Social Sciences, Humanities and Technology 2024 and for giving me the opportunity to present my paper. Let me begin by sharing a bit about myself. My name is Niza Mohd Aminuddin and I am from the Business School of UCYP University in Pahang. I am currently in my second semester of a PhD program in management. As displayed on the screen, the topic of my presentation today is Women and Malaysian Politics, Challenges as Mediators in Political Leadership. First, let's take a look at the current scenario. Despite women achieving success in various sectors in Malaysia, their participation in political leadership roles remains low. This indicates that while women may be excelling in fields like education, business, or other professional areas, they are still underrepresented in politics. The limited presence of women in political leadership discourages other women from getting involved in politics. This lack of representation can lead to reduced interest and participation in political activities such as corporate forums, elections, and leadership campaigns. According to the government gender quotas, there is a policy or guideline that sets a limit for women's representation on corporate board, capping it at 30%. This means that women can hold up to 30% of the seats on corporate board, but not necessarily more. The study reference highlights specific challenges that Malaysian women face in the political arena. These challenges could range from culture and society barriers to structural and institutional obstacles that hinder women's political participation and representation. Now let's take a look at the current participation. Women had approximately 13.5% of parliamentary seats. This indicates that out of all the seats in the parliament, women occupy about 13.5%. This percentage reflects the level of female representation in the legislative body. Despite some progress being made, there remains a significant gap between the representation of men and women in a parliament. The terms ongoing gender disparity underscore that even the improvements, the inequality in representation persists. There are several issues related to gender, equality and social roles. Here's a breakdown. Gender bias and discrimination refers to unfair treatment or prejudice against individuals based on their gender. Media stereotyping refers to the portrayal of individuals or groups based on simplified or exaggerated characteristics that are often not representative of reality. Balancing family responsibilities refer to the challenges individuals face in managing both work or career commitment and their responsibilities within the family, such as caregiving, household duties, and childcare. Besides that, there is a requirement for fundamental or structural changes within system, likely political system, to increase the involvement of women in politics. It also highlights the role of social media in influencing and potentially boosting women's participation in political activities. The idea is that systematic changes in policies, laws, and social norms, coupled with widespread influence of social media platforms, can collectively contribute to greater inclusion and empowerment of women in political arenas. This slide shows the key points of why it is important for women to be involved in politics. We can break it into three arguments: intrinsic arguments, instrumentalist arguments, and equity arguments. Let's take a look at intrinsic arguments. Women, making up over half the world's population, deserve equal political representation. It is more on a human rights perspective. And under instrumentalist arguments, men and women bring different ideas and values to politics. Women's participation offers diverse focus and values. And last, equity arguments. From the research by Dahlerab and Friedemann Wall, research in 2003, Women should hold half of political seats as they constitute half the populations. Political empowerment of women has been a long discussed topic even before they gain voting rights. These slides explain the current status and challenger from global and Malaysian context. From the global statistics states that women make approximately 49.584% of the global population, according to the World Bank in 2019. Meanwhile, for Malaysian statistics, the data shows significant disparity between the proportion of women in the population and their representation in political offices. Women constitute 48.6% of the total population. Women hold only 11.5% of seats in state legislative assemblies. Then 40.4% of seats in the House of Representatives and 19.4% of seats in the Senate. More data also stated that Malaysia ranks 140th out of 192 countries in terms of gender equality. This ranking likely considers various factors such as political empowerment, economic opportunities, educational attainment, and health outcome from women compared to men. Only 10.76% of ministerial positions in Malaysia are held by women. This statistic indicates the representation of women in top government positions while is relatively low. Referring to the Global Gender Gap Index, which is an annual report published by the World Economic Forum, Malaysia had ranked 103rd out of 146 countries. To enhance women's political involvement, measures must be taken to close the gender gap and advocate for women's rights in the political process. This requires an approach that addresses both national and local issues and actions from key institutions. A safe and conducive environment also needs to be created to enable women to participate in politics without fear of physical violence, emotional abuse, or online harassment. Studies show that increases women's participation in politics leads to greater investment in education, and companies with women on their boards report higher returns on investment. Research also suggests that gender balance in politics promotes gender balance in the workforce, which could double global GDP growth by 2025. While Malaysia has taken initial steps by establishing the national policy on women to empower women in all aspects of national development, its implementation needs improvement. These steps include ensuring that the 30% quota for women in political decision-making is adhered to and consistently implemented. Moreover, societal perceptions of women's roles and abilities in politics needs to be changed to recognize their significant contributions in building a fairer and more inclusive society. To advance women's roles as mediators, bringing justice and inclusivity into national political leadership, Malaysia needs to take strategic actions. This includes increasing public awareness of the importance of women's involvement in politics, providing adequate training, guidance, and support to empower them, and reducing barriers that impede their progress. This is a research by Ferrer et al. 2023. By doing so, Malaysia can move forward in achieving true gender equality in all aspects of political and social life in the country. In this discussion, we identify several key challenges faced by women in achieving equality in Malaysian politics. One of the main challenges is the dominant influence of patriarchal culture, which prioritizes male leadership in politics. Women often encounter perceptions that diminish support for their roles in political decision-making, necessitating continuous effort to change societal views. Furthermore, despite an increase in the number of women involved in Malaysian politics, There remains a gap to be bridged within a political structure dominated by men. Women's participation in political process needs to be enhanced throughout more inclusive political education and the maintenance of quotas for women in decision-making roles. The involvement of women as mediator in politics plays a crucial role in ensuring fairness, equality, and inclusivity in political decision-making process. Women often bring unique perspective and diverse values to the political negotiation table, which helps find more holistic and sustainable solutions to complex issues involving various segments of society. An important aspect of women's role as mediators is their ability to promote more effective dialogue and cooperation among stakeholders. Women tend to employ a collaborative leadership style focused on mutual solution, which is crucial in a political context often filled with tension and conflict. Moreover, women as mediators can direct attention to issues often overlooked in political decision-making process. Example includes issues related to family welfare, education, reproductive health, and gender justice, which often become prioritized for female mediators. To strengthen women's roles as mediators in politics, several strategic steps need to be taken. This includes strengthening laws and policies that protect women's rights, raising public awareness of the importance of women's participation in politics, and providing equal opportunities for women in all aspects of political and social life. Inclusive political education and continuous support from various sectors are also important to ensure that women can play a larger role in political leadership. In addressing this challenge, cooperation between the government, civil society, academics, media, local communities, and the private sector is crucial. With collective efforts, Malaysia can move towards a fairer and more inclusive society where the role of women in politics is recognized and valued. To overcome these challenges, various efforts have been undertaken by the government and non-governmental organizations, NGOs in Malaysia. Training programs and awareness initiatives have been organized to empower women with the knowledge and skills needed in politics. Examples of these programs include the Women's Leadership Academy by the Successful Women Institute, IWB, which aims to train and prepare women to face challenges in politics. In addition, gender quotas in political parties and the establishment of women's councils in various sectors have been introduced to ensure a more balanced participation between men and women in politics. Overall, women's involvement in Malaysian politics is crucial to ensuring more inclusive and balanced development. Although there are still many challenges to be overcome, ongoing efforts to improve women's participation in politics are a positive steps towards achieving gender equality. Women in politics not only provide different perspectives in policy making, but also have the potential to bring about significant changes in society. Therefore, it is important to continue supporting and empowering women in the political arena for Malaysia's brighter and fairer future. Society and political institutions must work together to eliminate barriers that hinder women's participation in politics and ensure that women are given equal opportunity to success in this field. With strong support and ongoing commitment, we can achieve a more inclusive, fair, and progressive society. Thank you all for taking the time to view this presentation. I sincerely hope that you find it both valuable and informative. Wishing everyone a great day ahead. Assalamualaikum.